Hey guys, it's Chicken Jockey, and welcome back to another episode of Ultimate Hardcore. Last episode, we attempted to pick things up after the death of the first episode, but things just went wrong. We quickly died without too much progress, and then we started up a new world, and we actually did quite decent on the second world, but unfortunately, we mined for an incredible amount of time and did not find a single diamond. This episode, we're not only going to be attempting our first vein of diamonds that we were unfortunately unable to get in the last episode, but we're also going to be attempting to get at least some sort of diamond gear, possibly a full set of diamond armor. Alright, so the first thing we're actually going to do is sleep before we go onto the surface because, as you can see, the fog in the background was black. That means it's night, I believe. Well, actually, it looks like the fog is black whether it's day or night. I guess it doesn't make any difference. Anyways, the first thing we're going to do now is go up to the surface and get some wood, because we ran out of wood completely when we were trying to find diamonds, because we made so many iron pickaxes and so many torches making that massive strip mine that we ran completely out of wood. So we're going to want to go to the surface, grab some more wood, and then we'll be able to come down and continue the mining again and continue the expansion of our massive corridor. Alright, now that we have an iron pickaxe, I'm going to go back there and take out some iron and coal ores that we kind of passed over earlier, because I want to get very prepared before we head into the back of this mine, because this trip between the end of my mine and my mining base is getting longer and longer the more I mine. And the more time I spend going back and forth, the more time I'm going to waste, and the longer it's going to take for us to find diamonds. So I've decided I'm just going to gather tons of iron, tons of torches, tons of food, and try to just power through until we find some diamonds. Diamonds! Oh, wow. I was just mining out all this coal. I was going to keep it on the mining trip to make some torches and smelt up some iron ore. But right as I mined out that coal vein, I found behind it some diamonds. And man, I cannot believe these were under my nose the entire time. At the beginning of my mine at that. Look at how close they were to my camp. Look at how close. If I would have just mined 2 blocks out, I would have found these. And it's a 3 vein, it looks like, or a 4 vein. Please be a 5 vein. Please be a 5 vein. That would make my day if this was a 5 vein of diamonds. And unfortunately, it looks like it's merely a 3 vein. But you know what? I think a 3 vein, or a 4 vein, is still pretty decent, because it was rather frustrating not being able to find any diamonds. So even 4 diamonds is a welcome sight. So let's grab all these up. And now that we've got these 4 diamonds, we can finally craft up our very first diamond pickaxe and our very first diamond shovel. No, I'm not going to do that. That would probably be an immense waste of diamonds at the beginning of the game to just craft a shovel with them. And I think I just saw a zombie back here, and that means our mine is still not properly secure. There must be some type of low light levels down here. I don't know. But I'm probably going to have to go back and check all these light levels, because I don't want an Enderman or a witch spawning in here and ruining our day. Alright, I think we've gathered up pretty much all the torches, all the mining materials, and all the food that we're going to need for this long mining trip. So I guess let's head to the end of our mine and get mining. Alright, after a very long mining trip, I can say our diamond pickaxe is officially at just over 100 durability. And I've got to say, this mining technique is definitely not the strat. I've mined a corridor this long, 2 render distance long. If you stand in just the right spot, you won't be able to see either end of the mine. That is just crazy. That is how long I've mined, and we haven't gotten a single diamond from this thing. The only reason that we got the diamonds to make this diamond pickaxe is because we mined off of the mine when we were mining out that extra little vein of iron. So I think it's safe to say that this mining strategy is not very effective, and it would probably be a good idea to research and figure out what is probably a better mining strategy than the one I've been using. But for now, I think it would be a good idea to take a break from this diamond mining thing and work on another goal, because I think it would probably be a good idea to give up on our dream of getting full diamond armor this episode. So what are we going to be doing instead, you ask? And the answer is quite simple. We are going to be building our very first starter house, because that was one of the goals that we set for this season. We're going to build at least some kind of base. And I kind of have an idea for what I want to do, and that is make a mini starter house, because this hardcore series, I don't want it to stretch out for too long. I want to finish it as fast as I possibly can. So I kind of thought I would go the bare minimum and build a tiny, teeny starter house. But then I thought, hey, maybe we can make this actually a fun project instead of just building a lame small cabin. Maybe we can make a challenge for ourselves to build the smallest possible starter house that can still house a nether portal. And so that is what we're going to be doing this episode. We're going to be building up a nether portal somewhere above our mine, and we're going to build up a starter house around said nether portal. Oh, yep, that was an epic fail. But as I was saying, we're going to build a starter house around the nether portal that's going to be as small as it possibly can, while still being big enough to hold the nether portal and for us to go inside. So that's why I've brought this water bucket down here, so I can convert all the lava down here into obsidian, and we can mine it up. But I just want to make sure that we're completely safe, because I have died way too many times to count from mining obsidian and sneaking on the edge of obsidian and accidentally falling into lava and dying and losing everything. So we're going to want to be as cautious as possible as we're gathering up this stuff. Alright, now that we've gotten our obsidian, I think now is the perfect time to start gathering up our materials for the planned starter house. Now, the first thing we're going to want is to smelt up some cobblestone into stone, because you've got to have some good palette variety when you're building a starter house. You don't want to all be just brown wood. So we're going to grab some stone blocks for the gray, and let's see if we can make a stone cutter. I don't actually know how to craft stone cutters, so let's search stone cutter, and you need an iron ingot and 3 stone. That's not that hard, actually, because we've got this massive mine, and we've gotten a lot of iron from it as well. So, yeah, that shouldn't be a problem at all. But what very well might be a problem is gathering up the wood, because I've actually traveled decently far in this world, and I haven't recalled finding a single type of tree that wasn't a spruce tree. So, I'm guessing this is going to be a little journey. So let's save our coordinates of our base right here, because we don't want to lose this. And let's head in, say, this direction and see if we can find a nice plain forest so that we can gather up some oak. Alright, looks like we've got some other type of forest over there. I only see birch trees for the time being, but, yeah, that's very messed up water. But as I was saying, there's some oak trees as well. Looks like this is your, standard island? Oh, it's actually not a forest at all. It's just a tiny island with a few trees on it. But, it looks like there's another area over there. So let's hope that's an actual continent rather than an island. And it looks like it is. So it looks like we have successfully found a good portion of oak wood to chop down. So let's get cracking, and let's chop down enough oak wood that our iron axe breaks. I think that's a good goal. And once we're done collecting up our oak wood, we can head back home, and hopefully we'll have all the stuff we need to build up our tiny starter house. This axe now has 1 durability left, so once we use it one more time, it's going to break to pieces. So let's select a tree, and chop. Alright, now it's broken, and now we can head back home with all of this wood that we have collected. This is actually going to be a pretty long journey. I had to trek a considerable distance to find this forest. So, yeah, it's by no means going to be a short trip back home, but once we get there, we can finally work on our starter house. Alright, we have successfully made our way back, and I actually didn't get lost at all, which is a bit surprising. I thought for sure I would get lost some way or another, but we actually did not need the screenshot of our coordinates at all, which is a bit of a pleasant surprise. Anyways, now that we have the wood, let's wait for the rest of the stone to smelt, and while we're doing that, let's actually light up our nether portal, and I don't think I actually have any flint, unfortunately. So we're gonna have to head into this mine, find some gravel, and get some flint so that we can actually light up the portal. Alright, we dug out some gravel, got ourselves some flint, 5 flint. Wait a minute, I think I already had flint in my inventory and didn't notice that. Rats, why did I come all the way back here? All the way back here to almost the end of the mine just to get something that I already have. Anyways, it looks like our stone has been cooking up quite a bit, and while I do think I will need a bit more than that, I think this will at least be enough to start, and actually we're gonna have to smelt up some iron, because we do need some iron in some of our recipes, and I actually happen to not have any, because of all the mining I did, so let's just smelt up this iron ore into iron ingots, and then we'll be able to start the project. So the first thing we're going to need to craft up is some flint and steel. And we're going to use this to light up the nether portal. Alright, actually, this clearing right by our mine looks like the perfect spot to build our house. So, what we're going to do is we're going to dig 4 blocks down, 1 block deep in the ground. And the reason we're going to do that is because we want to make it slightly easier for us to make a small house. Because this will actually be part of the floor of the house, because if we elevated the portal, that will mean we have to make the house 1 block taller, which is a step backwards from making it as small as possible. So we're going to want to dig a little hole in the ground and kind of get a cheat head start on making the house small. Anyways, let's cap it off with the final 4 obsidian. And now we are ready to finally light our nether portal, and we're not going to go in this thing, because I know I've probably said this about 1,000,000 times, but I don't want to die in hardcore mode, so we're going to wait to go into the nether until we have much better gear. Alright, now that we've gotten more iron smelted up, we can finally craft a stone cutter. And we can use this to cut up our stone into stone bricks. Oh, that's not stone. That's not stone. As I was saying, we can use that to cut up our stone into stone brick stairs. And we're going to use this for the roof. But we don't want to turn everything into stone brick stairs, because that is going to cause us to have to get more stone, because we're actually going to use some slabs probably as well. Alright, so here we are with the nether portal, and what we've got to do now is build a starter house around this thing that is as compact as possible. Now, we're not going to cut any corners with this starter house. We're not going to make it some terrible, hideous thing that's small just for the sake of being small. We're going to give it all the qualities of a good starter house, but we're still going to try to make it as small as possible while doing so. Alright, our starter house is looking pretty good. I think it's rather complete. No. It's not complete at all. It's not complete at all. We're gonna add so much more than just this. Now, the reason why I wanted to start with the box is just because I didn't want to add the framework on the outside, because I didn't want to make it too small to actually be able to fit a house inside it. So I started with the wooden box before I added the framework, just so that I would know how big to make the framework. Alright, we've completed the framework, and the first thing that I'm noticing is that this thing is way too short for its size, but I think that's part of the charm. I don't know, we'll see when we finish it, but the first thing that I think we've got to do is get rid of all these trees that are smothering this house, especially this big old spruce tree that for some reason I decided was a good idea to leave floating. No, you're never supposed to leave trees floating, and yet I do it regularly. Alright, now that we've got all these extra trees cleared out, the first thing that I think we should work on is the roof. So we're gonna trim the roof. The edges of the roof are going to be made of stone brick. And then on top of the roof, I think I'm going to add a mixture of spruce stairs and oak wood stairs because I've actually been practicing a little bit of building in a creative test world, and I'm trying to build a house right now. And one of the things I realized is that mixing textures is a really important skill. I've seen a lot of builders do that before, where instead of having a straightforward palette where you just have some base blocks, some contrast blocks, you actually have multiple base blocks, multiple contrast blocks, and you kind of randomly mix them in with each other. I've known about that technique for a while, but I didn't actually realize its importance until I actually tried it in a rustic house myself. And man, it just really improves the quality of your builds. It really adds an extra layer of detail and interest to them that you can't really achieve with just using straight palettes. Now, sometimes straight palettes are necessary, such as in futuristic builds, but in rustic builds, I think mixing textures up is very important. Alright, we've gotten our entire roof built, and it doesn't have the mixed textures yet, but I think it looks pretty decent. And I also had to alter the trimming, the outside framing, a little bit more to kind of fit this side of the roof, because it was like this before, and it looked terrible. So I just altered it a little bit to fit the front, and I also did so on the other side. But anyways, let's get to the texture mixing that I've been planning all along for this roof. So, what we're going to do is we're going to take out some of these oak planks, or well, not oak planks, but oak stairs, and we're going to replace them with spruce stairs. Now, this will help make the house look a little bit more run down, kind of like the roof is breaking up, and I think it'll add just a slight amount of extra interest that wouldn't be there if it was just a plain oak roof. Alright, we finished the mixing. It didn't take too long, and I actually think this looks quite nice. I think that would look better if the rest of the house was more mixed, rather than just the roof part being worn down and the rest being perfectly clean and normal. But I definitely think it added at least a little level of value that wasn't there in this build before. Yep, I think it looks pretty nice, but now we're going to want to focus on the side decorations, because we don't want the side of our house to just look bland, boring, plain. So we're going to want to work on decorating the exterior. Obviously, we're not going to decorate the interior yet this episode, and honestly, there's not that much interior to decorate. But anyways, let's get right into the decorating. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add some doors to the front of our house so that we can actually get in and out of the house. And actually, no, we're going to go in here so that the doors are inside of the block rather than on the edge, because that adds just a slight level of depth. And we are going to add some spruce slabs. We're going to try at least to add some sort of design right here, so that we have kind of a decoration to fill in the empty space, and hopefully we'll have a little bit of added depth. And I think that's a little bit too big and clunky. Yeah, that doesn't look the best. So we're gonna have to come up with something else. Alright, I've gone for a more basic approach and just slapped some straight lines of spruce slabs on the exterior, and I think it's already looking at least a little better, at least passable and not a hideous front. But to make it even better, we're gonna slap a couple of lanterns right here, looking pretty nice. And we're actually going to maybe slap some spruce slabs up there, just to kind of bring the whole thing together. And I think this looks pretty decent now. It does look it does look very largely brown, with no contrast color at all, but I think it's the best thing we can do with the little time that we have. Alright, now we're going to want to do at least something with the sides. I was thinking about adding glass windows at first, but now that I think of it, there's simply not that much space to add glass windows, so I'm thinking maybe we could add some spruce fences, and if that doesn't work, we'll probably have to try to find at least some way to make windows work in the glass form, because we need at least something for the sides. Alright, I actually like this already, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab our spruce slabs, our trusty spruce slabs, And we're going to do the same thing for this side. Yeah, I'm going to need to get more. As I was saying, we're going to do the same thing for this side that we did for the other side, kind of, with the spruce slab decorations. And we're probably going to slap some lanterns on the sides as well. And actually, I think these spruce trapdoors look pretty good next to this spruce fence. But this is somewhat a spruce overload on this house, honestly. But I don't think that's too much of a problem. I mean, spruce is a great wood. You can't really go wrong with it. Anyways, let's slap our lanterns right here and replicate this on the other side. So for this side, I'm thinking about doing something with the spruce fences. Maybe just that classic window shape, but with the spruce, since we've got the spruce on the other side. We don't really want to break up the theme. And maybe we can add some good old spruce trapdoors to complement that. And we're going to finish it off with some kind of spruce slab pattern, except I don't know exactly what to do because we're not going to be able to replicate the other side exactly. But I think, yeah, this is looking pretty decent. Maybe we can pull off the same trick right here that we did for the other sides. And yeah, I think it looks pretty nice. So now all we're going to need is a couple of extra lanterns. And we're going to slap them on here, and we are done with this house. So, yep, here we have it. The tiniest possible starter house we could build around that portal and make it still look good. So, what do you guys think? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Tell me down in the comments. Well, actually, don't tell me that you hate it. But please do tell me how I can make it look better if you have any ideas. Anyways, now that we're finally done with this project, we are also done with the episode. And why are there random spruce planks just floating there? I have no idea. But anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe and hit that bell if you'd like to see more of Ultimate Hardcore and other Minecraft content. So anyways, goodbye for now, and I'll see you all next time in the next episode of Ultimate Hardcore.